ahead, so I guess we can introduce yourselves for this. I'm Tracer. This is Anders with us. We are broadcasting a quarterfinal match in the Dominion Online Championship between Markus and JoMa. They're both German. Actually, I guess that's not quite entirely true. Markus is originally Austrian, but close enough. Or so I say is the
Yeah, they're
American in the
pretty
room.
much the same thing. I can't tell the difference between them. They all look the same to me. Um, so this board
Anyways,
here,
here.
sorry.
We have a board here.
Yeah, Swindler is gonna make a huge mess out of this.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
there's the rebuild in the room, but you have gear around, so probably not so much. And Swindler is also a little bit messy, as you say.
yeah, I think you probably open Gear Swindler,
That's what I would expect from both of them. Also, yeah,
and then you get a bunch of gears with for colonnade points, I guess.
yeah. At some point, you might want to think about moving up into archive and
Yeah,
do a little bit of encampment stuff for bishops, just because might make the deck a little bit less of a mess if we're looking at a longer game.
yeah, that's certainly true. So you're never really going to thin here. The only trasher is Bishop, so you're not going to get rid of those coppers, and Royal Blacksmith is pretty much trash.
Yeah, I mean we're not really looking at extra gains, so
Yeah.
other than the rebuild. So
Well, this Bureaucrat, I guess you can do a Bishop Bureaucrat thing for, what, 2 points each time, each play.
yeah,
Um,
it sounds a little bit slow on a board with gear,
yeah.
but it kind of depends on how badly Swindler messes with you. We do see Gear Swindler from JoMa.
So they're playing with shelters, so some of them might get lucky and hit and get Swindler hits on their shelters, which is
Yeah,
always nice.
overgrown estate in particular, but yeah. I had some one of the games I got eliminated on had a Swindler and shelters, and I was being very good at hitting shelters. So yeah,
So
just like that.
yeah, JoMa hits a hovel right now.
So Markus is happy about that, even if he isn't happy about seeing both the gear and the Swindler in those last 6 cards.
Yeah. I guess you get a second Swindler here for colonnade points, and you probably want two Swindlers anyway.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Although, well, you know that Markus probably isn't going to move towards rebuild. If your opponent were to move towards rebuild, you'd have to start thinking probably a little bit more about speed. But
So JoMa went for a silver instead of the second Swindler. It's
yeah,
reasonable, I guess, but uh, you played a Swindler here over the gear, right? Because the gear is going to trigger a shuffle, and then both of your cards are.
he put a gear and a Necropolis down in that shuffle. So if he plays the gear, he'll be able to play 2 action cards next turn,
Okay,
most
that's
likely.
a good point.
So I'd actually expect a gear play. See what I know.
So here he
He,
gets a bandit camp, right? Or an archive.
yeah, I think Bandit Camp. Also
Yeah,
notable is he trashed the Overgrown Estate and drew Joma a card.
right.
So
Well,
that
he did
was
actually go for archive and not bandit camp. Um,
yeah. I can see either. I think just playing the Swindler there, you'd be over the gear. You'd be looking at Bandit Camp because if you play the gear, you can probably hit. You might have a chance of hitting 5 and then 5.
Hmm.
I wonder if JoMa is just going to take a gold here in the.
Yeah, I mean, normally you'd want a gold here because you'd want encampments, but with Swindler, I don't
Yeah, I'm
know.
not really sure if you want to actually be moving towards encampments. They're a little bit difficult.
Hmm.
So he's going to take
Yeah.
5, and maybe it should be a bandit camp, but I think he's more likely to match Marcus's archive. Yep.
Hmm. So you take Gear here clearly, but uh, uh, you set aside the Necropolis for next turn, or do you play it first?
I mean, what's down there? Gear and a Swindler. So you probably just play the gear because if you draw both, it sucks, but otherwise you're going to be playing both of them next turn.
Yeah.
I like how they both open gear Swindler. Yeah, it was actually when I mentioned JoMa's archive, I was saying a lot of the time you just end up following your opponent.
Well, especially when
You,
your opponent is Marcus. I mean, there's a tendency for a lot of us, I think, to just copy the top players. Now, Joma is, of course, a good player as well, but, you know, he's not someone I would be mirroring just because I know that he's one of the absolute best ones. So,
yeah, he's going to play the Swindler, and I would guess take a province here to trash the hovel.
y-
Also hits the Overgrown Estate. They haven't hit anything but shelters yet, have they?
uh, let's see what's in the trash. So yeah,
Yeah,
they've hit
nothing.
Overgrown Estate and Hovel. Yeah, Wandering Winder is right. Copying top players is a great recipe to lose.
Hey, I
Yeah.
match my opponents more, opening more often than I would care to admit, but yeah, I'm really not sure why you take a copper out of that archive if you're gonna be buying an archive. I think I would be taking the gear and setting it aside. No, there we go. There's not a shelter. Also, we should take a moment to look at Marcus's draw and discard pile, which are both empty.
Yeah, that's a fairly nice thinning. How did he do that? Oh, they're all in the archive mats, of
Archive
course.
side.
Um, there's not really anything to build towards here, so I guess you start greening fairly soon. Though with Colonnade, you can green while you're building.
I don't know that it's so much greening, but I'm not quite sure why JoMa keeps keeping this hovel in hand when he's not going to be buying a green card. Like, he should be moving towards, unless he's just not thinking about it at all, which could easily be the case.
Hmm.
I'm going to take a couple more archives. At least in JoMa's case, I think I'd be looking at something that gives coins soon. So Marcus is just going to take a gold here, I would guess, off the 6.
Yeah, he needs the gold here for sure. Well, I mean, he could get. Well, yeah, you can get a bandit camp that gives you spoils every turn. Uh, the spoils will be on the bottom or like in your discard, so you know you draw it at the end of your turn. Um,
Yeah, but gold can't get swindled. Bandit can. Is a I think, a pretty strong point for gold here.
yeah. Theron wants a rebuild, and I'm not. He doesn't have any green cards too. Well,
Mm. Well, we do give the rebuild.
it actually surprises me.
Yeah, really.
Because
I'm
now
just
he's
gonna.
gonna have to spend his one buy on getting like estates or, well, I guess duchies, but oh, sorry, he was giving rebuild.
Hey, giving
For some reason, I
rebuild.
thought he bought a rebuild. I thought I
Right.
was
I
waiting.
would really like to see a province here from JoMa. Set aside copper, curse, play the swindler, get that hovel out of the way.
Yeah, so I got confused in exactly the same way as Wandering Winder is talking about in the chat. That's why I made no sense when I was talking about rebuild just now.
Yeah, I think I probably still would have given a duchy there, just because rebuild does give you some potential later in this game.
Yeah, it gives you some
So,
pile control, I guess, if you can keep your green cards out of your hand.
all right, sets aside 2 coppers.
I would for sure have taken a province there.
I really don't know why you would set aside 2 coppers to leave yourself with 7.
Mm. Yeah, you'd set aside the silver for sure.
I guess he wants the silver in the shuffle, but you do the same thing either way, so it doesn't really take it out of the shuffle, it just puts it into your next hand. So it'd be the same thing as if you just drew it.
Mm.
Trash's Necropolis. At this point, I think Marcus is probably happy with that.
Yeah. Um, how many terminals does he have? He has, I think, 3 gears and 1 bandit camp, so he's not in any sense over terminaled.
Marcus still have the Swindler around?
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So I guess that puts him a little bit over terminal, but possibly get another bandit camp right now.
Yeah, the bandit camp is 2 points. That's probably the last thing in his build before he goes green, I'd say.
You don't need one of these coppers. You, of course, take the curse. Yep. For 2 reasons, even.
Yeah, having the curse in your discard or in your draw deck is nice in case it gets hit. It's better to cycle a curse than to get an additional one. So Marcus gets a province already.
I think that's quite reasonable.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
may have liked to see a bandit camp there, but you'll be able to buy one at some point later.
So now he gets to use his rebuild basically as what's it called? A thing that puts your card into discard, messenger or whatever.
Yeah. We'll deliberately avoid naming the first edition card there. No chancellors. Chancellor doesn't exist anymore.
I've yeah, there was a card called Chancellor. Uh,
Clearly a messenger effect, maybe a scavenger effect without the top deck.
hmm.
All right, so Marcus's Swindler just got turned into a silver, and I don't know that he's terribly unhappy with that. And they may just end up buying one here. No, that's 5, so this will be probably an archive or a bandit camp.
Well, an archive gives you 2 points. Bandit camp wouldn't there, so
Yeah, I would say that's the primary reason for taking an archive. I think bandit camp is better in the deck, but 2 points is 2 points, and in this kind of game, that matters a lot.
yeah.
This gear.
Yeah, you probably play the gear, I think. Or well, okay, I can do that too. That makes sense.
Set aside the gear. Yeah, Bandit Camp is worse against Swindler. Both because it can get swindled into something and because of the spoils.
So this rebuild is also going to be a fancy messenger.
Yeah, it's right. He has the province in hand right there.
Yep.
Yeah, he did decided gear last turn. Yeah, so he may play the gear and set aside the rebuild if he thinks that milling the province is a good idea.
Probably isn't for JoMa, but having the option is probably slightly better than the 2-card shuffle.
Yeah, I mean, but he can set aside like a rebuild curse with this gear to get up to the end of the shuffle, and then both of those would be excluded from the next one, which would be nice.
Yeah.
In some ways, if you think your deck is... Yeah, so he moved to set aside the rebuild, but that was Bandit Camp Archive, so I'm guessing that both of those are going to get set aside instead.
Yep.
That would have been an interesting thing to track. So you definitely didn't want to play the rebuild. I guess you can pretend that you didn't want to play the gear, but you probably did.
I mean, with four coins here, is there a case to be made for getting a bishop now?
I think there's a pretty strong case to be made for getting a bishop because you hit a curse with it, and that's what.
Yeah, and you can bishop your rebuild.
Can bishop rebuild, can bishop. Could consider getting a state for the rebuild, I guess. That's what Wandering Winder is saying. And does do that. So we'll see when this estate comes up whether... Well, the estate's not going to come up because he's about to rebuild it, so that does end up being an okay buy.
So you play the Bandit Camp first here, right? So that
Yeah, I think
you get
so.
like the spoils into the archive.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. Okay.
Huh.
I guess if you know there's an archive there, you won't, and there's a 1/3 chance you get it if you play the Bandit Camp.
Get a gear in. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, we couldn't see the gear from the muddled hand.
Oh.
Surprise.
But this is looking very solid for Marcus. I don't see how anyone comes back from this position. Even in a Swindler game, it's unpredictable. And
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Marcus's deck is that it doesn't actually have a whole lot of consistent economy. So there's some amount of chance that if the wrong thing happens like that,
yeah,
this could even be into Duchy just to not let him have the...
Yeah, you don't want to let him you don't want to let him mill provinces. So rebuild is not something you give you. Mandarin is probably, well,
Mandarin gives coins. He could also actually give another archive. Yeah, definitely not Mandarin. Because Marcus only had the one bandit camp, which was being a really big source of his economy, and Mandarin doesn't really cut that off.
Yeah, I'm sold. I think you probably give Duchy here.
You could also give archive, I think, reasonably. Yeah. Although the problem with Mandarin is it is terminal, and Marcus no longer has any village. This buy on 5 is sort of an interesting one. If there were colonnade points left, I would say it really could be another rebuild, but here you might want to try Bandit Camp or even a Mandarin of your own.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go with Bandit Camp here.
Yeah, giving Duchy really isn't crazy, but it's just, I guess, not knowing exactly what your opponent's deck looks like that might lead you to do the Mandarin.
So do you set aside 2 coppers here? Or
Does Marcus have an archive in hand? I seem to
oh,
remember having it in hand. Yeah.
okay.
So this almost has to be the grabbing the silver.
Yeah.
Marcus probably needs to rebuy that Bandit Camp this turn. Just from playing his cards and economy standpoint. But yeah, Marcus isn't exactly sad to have that Mandarin in deck. Obviously, it would be nicer if it were still the Bandit Camp. But it's not like a horrible thing to have.
Could Marcus have considered getting a rebuild to no, he's not that far ahead. He can't mill provinces.
Yeah, he needed the village and economy of the Bandit Camp, or at least the village. Actually, a somewhat interesting move from JoMa. He did not put the rebuild in hand, so the rebuild is not going to be played for 2 turns now, since Duchy is probably in the next hand. So I think that was a little bit of a curious decision.
Do you think it was a misplay, or do you think he had a reason for that?
I think it was a misplay. I think the rebuild should have been going into hand right there. Yeah, so you see the Duchy in this hand, and that rebuild's not doing anything this turn. So he's going to be taking the Duchy out of the archive, which is not what you want to be doing. You could also take the rebuild out and, I guess, gear it aside. No, it's an archive.
Well, there's
Yeah,
a good chance he points to gear with his archive, though.
not this one, though. That last turn. That's the point. It's when do you take the rebuild? So this rebuild in hand. He just bought a Duchy. Okay, that's right. That's what Wandering Winter was talking about.
So he violates the penultimate province rule here. The Swindler is going to be risky to play, although he sees that Marcus has a province on top of its discard. So that reduces the risk of playing it somewhat. Not a PPR violation. Okay, so I guess he's going for...
To take the Swindler now and hope to hit points. I'm not quite sure what kind of points you're in.
So he fails to hit 8 by 1.
In that case, I guess you're probably setting aside the Swindler here.
Well, I mean, even if he did get the province here, he couldn't take it, so... Yeah, he went first. So he has to set aside this... Crashes an archive.
I would guess into another Mandarin.
Yeah. So he has what on the gear? He has a silver and um, he has a copper from.
Okay, so Marcus is going to take a duchy here, certainly. So then JoMa is not winning this turn.
Well, he could if he finds rebuild. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, he.
Rebuild and Swindler, I think. No, just has
I
to be
guess if
Swindler.
Swindler has to find duchy. No, Swindler can't find duchy, so.
Yeah, it needs to make some kind of nice hit, which I don't know if it can.
I guess it can find copper and give him a curse.
Province to province game. All right.
Okay, so that's 1-0 to Marcus.
Yep.
And we. Yeah, that got closer than I expected. I thought Marcus had a very nice lead, but that Swindler hit that got his bandit camp to Mandarin, that cost Marcus a lot.
Yeah, that was at least a whole turn, possibly more. So they have their already starting table bug, which
Okay,
is
so we're gonna have to find their new table.
so we will have to be moving off of this and onto this one. And you are here, so all right. Let's see. Okay. Wanted to make sure that Marcus was acknowledging that we were here. Oh, this one's nice and ugly.
So yeah, there's really nothing happening here. You probably want.
Well, you want a lot of ghost ship. The 5 is really nice. Whoever has that, Marcus has that.
Yeah. You probably want some guardians in your deck. Do you?
Yeah. It's a little bit annoying, but you get lots of ghost ships and you can do quest.
Hmm.
Even if you get like 3 ghost ship, you could even traveling fair and then do 2 quests, top deck 2 gold. See if that ever happens.
Hmm.
Traveling fair quest interaction is a sort of interesting one for this board. Haven and Guardian are good, yep. On this 2 for Marcus, I would guess Haven.
Yeah, Haven makes sense here. You probably want like 3 Havens in your deck or something. Yeah.
So even if you, because like if you draw Haven turn 3, can potentially play Ghost Ship and then Quest. Might even get a Traveling Fair with it. So Haven can move up your hand size to 6, which is
Hmm.
I think nothing is probably better than Guardian at this point. Even. From JoMa on the 3-4. Yeah, so we get this Haven. So what this Haven will actually allow that's useful is a 6-card hand next turn, which can be Quest.
Hmm.
Now you can play the Haven. You'll hit 3 this turn. If you set aside a state, play the Ghost Ship that hits 3, and then you can Quest next turn.
Yeah, that's seems like the right play. Um, if you're going to do a lot of quests, do you want silver in your deck, or do you prefer like Candlestick Maker for the buy or something? Or well, there's Traveling Fair, so the buy is not that essential.
Yeah.
And also,
I
you'll
don't.
probably want Charms eventually.
I really doubt that you ever want anything that's cost 5 that isn't Ghost Ship. Even I don't think the buys are
Hmm.
terribly important.
Yeah,
So this will
that's
be this turn will be interesting for Marcus. Whether you probably take the Ghost Ship because what you're looking at next turn. Yeah. JoMa here is not getting up to Ghost Ship will this turn. We would expect this to just be a quest from Marcus. It could be another Ghost Ship, but
it seems like a third Ghost Ship will. I mean, it'll delay the gold gaining a little bit, but it makes quests easier later.
yeah, it is fine with quest, and that way you can actually be top decking the gold. So I do like the Ghost Ship rather than a quest. We'll see if Marcus agrees. Charm. Huh. Anybody in chat have a reason for a charm?
I mean, the charm gives you a buy if you draw like two Ghost Ships dead, you can get quests from both of them.
Yeah. You can just do that with Traveling Fair, though. Likelihood that you're not hitting 2 is quite low, I think.
Yeah.
Gets to top deck a Ghost Ship this turn.
So Tracer,
So,
I have bad news for you. I've ruined the
uh-oh.
stream by using a rebuild background.
Oh, well,
Um,
it's all
so
right.
what
People get
back
over it.
what background should I
Which
set it to?
Inheritance, which I think is 2.
So that's BG2. That looks like inheritance. Yep.
Yep. That's the best one.
Okay.
Putting my voice over a rebuild background now, nobody's gonna like me anymore.
Yeah, I've ruined your good name and reputation here.
Anyway, so this turn we do see the dismantle from JoMa doing some amount of work, I guess, with the gold. Though this Ghost Ship is ruining that plan of top decking a Ghost Ship. So I wonder if JoMa is just gonna top deck maybe silver gold here and buy a Guardian. The other
That
option would be top decking 2 coppers.
Yeah, I was thinking
Copper
top
and
decking two coppers, but I think you're right that it would have been better to get the Guardian there.
copper and a
He's gonna expect to get attacked every turn, so Guardians in his deck are probably good.
yeah.
Even,
So he's only gonna end up spending 5 here. So he top decked that estate unnecessarily. Yeah. Oh, I guess he knew maybe he knew he had the dismantle coming up. That would be your reason for doing that. That makes a lot of sense then. So this is us not having tracked his deck.
yeah.
Something to consider here for Marcus would be top decking a gold. Could also take like say Haven in a gold. I would very much expect that we see a gold gain from Quest here, though. whether that's going to be top decking it or coming with something else.
Yeah, I think I think he top decks the gold.
I think he top decks it too, but he may feel a need to use the charm to do something useful. Like a buy as opposed to just being a card.
Well, that's a sunk cost fallacy. I mean,
So this is going to be coin buy, surely. And then we're going to have a quest. Okay, so he is not going to do the top decking. He's going to take another Haven, which is fine.
and he actually draws it anyways, so that worked out for him.
That is
Surely,
totally reasonable. Something to pay attention to here is that against ghost ship attacks, JoMa does have 2 less estates, which is a fairly big deal.
yeah. Um,
I wonder
the
if
Marcus has
Marcus
two
will...
havens that can like just stack away, put away the estates. Well,
Yeah, you still lose the hand size.
yeah.
All right. Marcus takes a guardian, is starting to take guardians now, which with JoMa having, I think, 2 ghost ships is something that we're going to start seeing a lot more of.
Yeah.
I would be not terribly surprised if Guardian were to end up piling here, even if that is incorrect.
Well, I mean, these are both very good players, so if it's incorrect, well. So I guess you get a quest here.
Yeah, you get a quest and you get to top deck it.
Hmm. Wait, do you? Oh yeah, you do. Yeah.
7 cards.
Yep.
1. We'll see if Marcus sees it. Or if he decides that he wants a guardian and more guardians instead, which maybe. I think that's just the guardian would be a little bit awkward with the costs. Nope, does take the guardian.
So the Beast Skull match against who's Burning Skull playing again? He's
J
playing
Frisk,
J Fresh, right? They're
I guess,
starting
in
now.
18 minutes or something, 17 minutes. Very poorly scheduled.
Yeah.
Marcus could get a dismantle of his own here if he would wanted. This could be Traveling Fair and Quest and a dismantle. And I
Yeah.
do think he will want a dismantle of his own. This being a
Well,
very slow.
I mean, you're always going to play a ghost ship over a dismantle, though, and
Well, maybe not, because
yeah,
he
maybe
might be
not if opponent has Guardian in place, or yeah.
later, but at this point Marcus is just taking Guardians. So Marcus is going for the defense.
So how do you think about greening here? Like these decks are never going to do anything. Do you just take provinces when you can, or?
Yeah, we'll see what Marcus is thinking about it right now. Which, yeah, I think I would take the province, but Marcus has been doing a lot of emphasis on the Guardian, so we may end up doing Traveling Fair for something like Guardian and then top deck a Ghost Ship.
So JoMa
But
goes for Tragic Hero. That's interesting. It's probably better than Ghost Ship when Guardians are when opponent has a lot of Guardians. It will activate if you've played a Haven the last turn.
yeah, but no Haven, so he's just going for the bit of extra draw, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, Dismantle being notable late game because it can gain duchies on 3-card hands quite easily.
Hmm.
We'll see what Marcus does here, though. Getting
GSH thinks that Tragic Hero makes no sense. I wouldn't say no sense. It might not be optimal play, but I can see why he wants one.
I'm not sure that you should ever be taking it over a ghost, just another ghost ship, though.
Hmm. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
if you expect opponent to always have Guardians in play.
yeah. Well, but that's kind of bad for the opponent to always have guardians in play. So yeah,
Hmm.
Marcus is really hammering these guardians now, which is something. Yeah, but see, the thing is, Guardian isn't actually a great card to have in this deck. Guardian makes your hand suck, so if you're defending against them, well, yeah, so see, JoMa's hitting 10 here, but he's not actually because of this ghost ship. And so there's an impact right there that he either has to decide to have a turn or not have a turn, really. Top deck's a ghost ship. It's
So
Guardian.
Joma looks like he's going for a province here.
Yep.
Um, Marcus hits 7.
That'll be a it'll be a top decked gold and maybe another top decked ghost ship.
Well, if he goes for a top deck gold, he'll have to discard his. Oh, sorry, no, the ghost ship gives you the quest, of course. Sorry, that was.
Yeah. Yeah. Does top deck another ghost ship, so Marcus is say humming right along here. I don't know that it's really humming right along so much as not suffering.
I think we're all suffering on this board. You don't have to be a player to suffer here.
See if Marcus decides that he wants to get a Guardian out or just take the province.
I think you take the province, and he'll get away with that as well. Though he, of
Yeah.
course, doesn't know that.
On the other hand, JoMa has only 2 ghost ships, so it's not exactly likely that he'll be playing one, especially having just seen him discard one.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Marks just does take the province, which may be slightly influenced by JoMa having taken one.
So, what? The trash has now 3 estates and 1 copper, and those all belong to JoMa.
Yep. This will set aside a ghost ship, surely. Well, maybe not surely. You could also think about setting aside the gold and then doing a quest.
Yeah, that might have made sense, especially given how the draw
But
went.
he doesn't know what's gonna. He doesn't know what that one ghost ship is gonna draw. So maybe just having one next turn is more comfortable. Top decking 2 havens is very interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, that'll reduce his hand size by 3 now with 3 havens.
Miniature tactician kind of thing.
I guess
So
you set
yeah,
aside the copper here.
yeah, I think so. So next turn looks fairly likely for a province.
Yep.
He could also set aside the province and then top deck a gold, but does not do either of those things. This will be
When do you start getting duchies here?
oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, you have to start thinking about it fairly soon. Yeah, you could have Haven to Haven also. I think that the thing that he did there was possibly the strangest possible maneuver. I
Keeps
think getting a lot of havens.
So now he's guaranteed to province here, and he's probably going to be able to set aside good
Well,
stuff.
it's not, is it? Because he did not set aside a third copper, so he only has 2 coppers in those havens.
Well, he
Oh no,
has a guardian in play.
yeah, you're right. You're right. You can watch me forget that Guardian gives a coin because I care about it so little so often.
Yeah. So I guess that's a ghost ship for sure.
Yeah. Unless you think you're going to be drawing 2 coins, in which case maybe you think the top deck king of gold is better. Which seems really ambitious. But I guess it would have happened. 13 is.
So this
Yeah,
is a
this is
guardian,
plus.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be Guardian. JoMa's hand is exciting.
4 goals. How did that happen? So that
Well,
he has just junk left and has like 23 cards.
top of the shuffle is not what you want to be seeing in this kind of game. Absolutely not. Marcus is going to have 4 ghost ships in this next turn hand.
4 ghost ships. Wow.
So he'll actually be able to top deck 3 golds if he would want to.
Well, I don't think he needs to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he
he'll
can
be
do
able
that. Yeah, he can top
to
like 3
request.
golds. It's probably what he'll do too.
Well, unless one of the ghost ship draws something exciting, but no, that's just 2 estates. So I'm gonna guess that we will see the 3 golds here.
Yeah, it's a triple quest.
Traveling fair, traveling fair. Yeah, he's going to top deck all 3 of them, so that gives him a province next turn. Well, JoMa here might be getting a province of his own, which makes it a little bit, well...
I don't think he has province here. That would be...
Even so, Marcus, looking at JoMa's last 2 hands, could probably guess that there's no provinces coming up.
I guess you could set aside the Guardian and gamble because you know that Marcus has 3 golds on top and had all of his ghost ships.
You're definitely trying to move towards province, and it does not happen.
So there should be a duchy, right?
I think it has to be. Well, it's a traveling fair. You could also think maybe about 2 guardians to really try to hit province or top deck a ghost ship. So that actually makes this a little bit awkward for Marcus. He's going to get hit with ghost ship for the first time this game, isn't he?
This is the first
I think this
time?
is the first. I think it is. Might not be. Yeah, I think JoMa has to province here, although the rest of his deck is, we think, not very good. But you
Yeah.
need one of them, though.
So I guess Marcus plans on playing his Guardian and
Yeah,
setting a gold aside and then...
yeah. Marcus is gonna be thinking almost all about the turn after this one.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be setting aside the gold, we would guess. Well, no, he can't actually do that because he needs to score some amount. Yeah. He'll play the ghost ship and then buy an estate here. This is actually a sort of interesting decision for JoMa here, because he could dismantle this gold and then buy a state. Nope, he's going to go for the...
That's the win. So that's 1-1.
So, yeah. So
So
despite a
second
dismantle did not do the end. Yeah, second player has won both games. But I think that dismantle did end up doing quite a bit. Just not seeing those estates ever.
So
It's a pretty big...
do you think like if you get the 5-2 opening like Marcus, you still get the ghost ship, yeah?
Yeah, I think you get the ghost ship for sure.
Oh, it's
But yeah, we're
switching
moving
table
to...
again. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you get the ghost ship for sure, but I do think you do want to dismantle at some point. You at the table yet? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. No, John, it's actually it happened in my match with RTT yesterday, so let's say that it only happens with Germans.
Sorry, what happened?
Oh, the already starting bug.
Uh,
It actually has something to do with spectator count, I believe.
Now this board is kind of interesting. You
This
get
board is
the apprentice peddler combo. You get
um, it's easy to get a bunch of peddlers with Squire.
yeah. You probably want Pixie over Peddler most of the time, I think. I think I open Workshop Caravan for sure.
I'm not sure about that. I might think about like something like Caravan Squire. Marcus starting with the 5 is a little bit annoying, so I want to hit peddlers hard and fast. So I think Caravan Squire is a really good way to get there.
Well, the buys from the Squire are not going to really make that much of a difference before you have the ability to get 4 action cards in play.
Yeah, but no, the buys from the Squire can say get you 2 pixies or a patrician and a squire or 2 squires.
And also, I guess you can use Villa to.
They both take workshops, which I guess they're looking at villas.
I think they're mostly looking at caravans, primarily
Oh,
first, and then villas later, or villas if they have to.
you might be looking at gaining a lot of caravans. I think you can probably draw enough with patrician and caravan here that you don't need to be doing apprentice stuff. So with the workshop, I think that we're going to see a pixie from Marcus, almost for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Scavenger seems very strange to me.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it gives you some cycling, and I mean, it's nice to be able to put the goat back on top, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Jones on that one. The 2 caravans is better than apprentice.
Yeah, yeah, the goat will clean up nicely, and
Really, to me, this is a interesting decision for JoMa because it's like you got this workshop, so we assume you had some intention with it. I think this should, why ever you bought this workshop, this should have been a really easy gain. Although maybe he just wants to move up towards apprentice.
hmm.
That's what makes it a hard gain. Marcos has his pixie miss, and he's not going to have trash in his state, which is very unpleasant. Guessing this is going to be top decking the apprentice.
Yeah, it has to be.
Otherwise, why did you get it? Although maybe with only 1 estate in deck, assuming that he does trash the estate with his goat.
Yeah, with one estate, like once he's out of estates, the apprentice is essentially a nerfed goat.
He top decks the workshop, so he may be looking at gaining villas again. Marcus gets a second workshop. So maybe the way that they want to do peddlers is by workshopping villas, which might be a lot faster than my method of squires.
Yeah, if he buys the villa now, the peddlers are free. Well, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I wonder if we're just going to see like peddler caravan.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
Yeah,
So thrashed out for sure.
yeah. I don't
trashed that too, but it's a shame he doesn't get to see the goat here.
But I'd be a little bit less sure of that one. Yeah, Marcus has just had not quite as. Marcus had unfortunate draws. JoMa will be able to get a lot of peddlers this turn, where a lot is maybe 3.
Well, he gets for sure. He gets 3. If he workshops the villa, he gets 3.
Well, he might only take 2 and then say a caravan. I think if Marcus doesn't trash an estate this turn, a resign would be sort of reasonable.
I don't think we're at that stage yet. JoMa has had better luck, but that apprentice doesn't accelerate his deck as much as it should.
Well, it might. Well, he gets to actually top deck and draw it here to trash this last estate.
I mean, Marcus probably gets 2 caravans, and I'd get like 3 caravans and 1 peddler here.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
He has a nasty hand coming up though, with 3 estates and the next 6 cards.
Yeah, Scavenger might have actually ended up doing a large amount of good for JoMa. But he's going to take the villa, so he is thinking about 2 peddlers. Apprentice and 2 peddlers. I mean, with the 3 estates in deck, apprentices, yeah. Playing that caravan first was absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
He played the first, drawn the apprentice, and trashed this estate.
So things can pile very quickly here with the villas and the peddlers.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
probably won't even see much groundskeeper.
Yeah, I don't think groundskeeper is ever gonna. I mean, it's expensive, so. I'm just not quite exactly sure what our third pile is going to be. Maybe Pixie if they keep buying them.
Yeah, it could be Pixie, it could be Caravan.
The 6. I'm going to see Caravan Pixie, maybe.
You're probably going to move towards Patrician Emporia, no?
I don't think so. The patricians aren't going to be doing a whole lot of drawing. I mean, they have peddlers, but maybe so. I don't know that you would ever take one over a caravan, though. So peddler and 2 peddlers.
I think probably I would have got a groundskeeper for that 6. Maybe not.
I guess this is getting trashed, but.
Well, he only has 1 copper in hand, so I guess you'd rather have a.
You would rather have maybe a villa
Or a caravan.
or caravan, yeah. I mean, that copper is either giving 4 or it's giving 1, so it may as well give 4
Mm.
rather than 1. So I don't think he's looking at hitting 5 here, so yeah.
Well, I mean, trashing a pixie that was worth 2. Um, I mean, the net gain is only one coin.
Suppose, but Pixie is that's what the Pixie is supposed to do, I guess you could say. It's not like he went around buying the Pixie because he had 4.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose he did that one turn. He bought 2 Pixies with 4, so. This 8 is a province. I think that is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
Just get the points in there, and maybe you can think about piling this next turn.
Next turn. That would be impressive.
I don't think it would be too impressive. You can Villa put something good on top with a scavenger and then apprentice the Villa. That gets you a fairly decent start. And then maybe pile villas and yeah, it's that third pile again.
Marcus still has all 3 opening estates in a goat game on turn 8. That's not something you see very often.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating for Marcus. Well, he does take the caravan, so I think JoMa will figure out how to do this turn. Maybe top decking this workshop. Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see how you had.
Well, how many coins does he need? He probably needs more coins than is reasonable.
So to pile the villas, you need 12 coins.
The workshop will do one of them.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a second pile here, I guess it's got to be caravan. That's the cheapest. That's a huge amount of money. Yeah, that's 16. That's totally not happening.
So is he thinking of like just stopping here, or is he thinking about the villa tricks?
I think he's thinking about stopping here.
Or maybe he's thinking about just playing workshop first, so that whatever he workshops for gets into the shuffle.
Will be in the shuffle. I would not be too surprised if he stopped here because a lot of his good cards. Well, he does draw the caravan right away. That is a increasingly less big shuffle. So piling now is 15 or 16, which he does not have once again.
So Marcus apprentices his peddler here, right?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be happening. But Marcus, I don't know if he can actually hit a number that is helpful in getting towards winning this game. Could also apprentice an estate. I mean, apprentice's villa also fine. Marcus is really looking at needing to hit 8.
Wind is not that useful. At least one of those workshop. Well, no, he can't afford to take Villa, can he?
Yeah. Yet he needs to figure out how to hit 8.
He needs
So
one Villa if he wants to hit 8, so that's probably worth the risk.
It's really dangerous, but if you're not scoring, you're not winning.
Yeah.
So
you
I'm
take
not exactly sure. So Marcus probably needs 2 turns from JoMa to go horribly wrong in order to have a chance, and I'm not sure that can actually happen.
Yeah. Now, JoMa doesn't have as many caravans, but he's a lot thinner and...
Oh, he has 3 down this turn, doesn't he? No, just the 1. No, just the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the other hand, if one turn isn't good, is there actually a chance that the next one is? All right, so Marcus is moving towards Patrician and Emporium.
Groundskeeper.
Groundskeeper, so I'm not entirely sure
He doesn't have time for that.
if this is, yeah. I don't think this is useful because I think that just takes the... I think that increases the number of turns that Marcus needs JoMa to have fail.
Top decking Apprentice there was weird.
Yeah,
I would have top decked Workshop.
Top deck something else at least. Maybe even just a copper. Or Villa.
Oh. I forgot you can do that.
Yeah. It still doesn't really get the he still needs what?
Wait,
13?
I think there's a win here.
It's 13 though, isn't it? See, a drop would have been easy, but yeah, it needs 13.
No, it doesn't. He needs... Oh, yeah, it does need 13, yeah.
So, I mean, but he has 2 caravans out. He has a workshop down there, so... Yeah, I think Villain Province is fine. You can lower piles haphazardly because Marcus isn't catching up on points. Just make it so that you win next turn. Which Villa Province almost certainly does. You could even consider piling Villa. That's a lot more risky, I suppose.
So, does he have any caravans in play? Yeah, he has 2.
He has 2, so he will have an end next turn for sure. No, I guess not for sure, but very likely will have an end, and there's not really anything Marcus can do to prevent it.
Well, that's not a very useful boon. You can almost say a dark boon for Marcus.
I don't know that there were any useful ones left, but...
Yeah. I don't think we've seen Forest, and with Groundskeeper, I mean...
Yeah, it qualifies useful. No, we haven't seen it.
Hi, Sigmatic. I don't know if you're listening, but the score is 1-1.
Soon to be 2-1. Very soon. So Marcus might take a silver here. No, it'll be another squire. So I don't know if he's just gonna take 2 groundskeepers. Yeah. All right. Well, that's game.
Yep. And Marcus says GG at the correct time this game. He doesn't need to point out any wins too early.
We'll see if we get Artie starting again for the 3rd straight game. Will it? Nope, it doesn't.
Right, so here we have, it's a peasant game. Not that many great targets. I guess you get action on either Council Room or Gear.
Could also think about action on minion.
Mm.
Something to
2-5 is
for...
a very nice opening for Marcus. I guess you get Peasant Butcher.
Yeah, I think that's certain.
Although Minion is also something that speeds up Traveler lines.
Yeah, I think you want to put action on minion for soldier. It's a really awkward, but if you end up getting maybe 6 of them, you're sitting pretty nicely with that.
Mm.
Say add a council room or 2 and then some soldiers. Off of the 3-4, you're doing peasant and then
I mean, the other option here is to get a Night Watchman and another Peasant, and then he can like shuffle both peasants into. Well, shuffle one peasant into the.
I think it has to be butcher.
Yeah.
And then they'll collide because why not? Yeah, you'd end up shuffling both, which is not ideal.
Yeah.
So this 4 can either be gear or night watchman or even silver. I don't love the silver, but I think it has to be gear.
I think maybe Night Watchman and discard exactly 2 cards. One of them being Butcher.
I think night watchman's just really scary though with or rather not so much scary as non-functional really soon. Because it may
Eventually you
gear.
butcher it into a minion though, but yeah.
I don't know. Do you actually get to butcher that fast though? Like if you do gear, your next 2 turns ideally are looking at maybe silver and butcher. With Night Watchman, you're looking at moving your Traveler up and then what? How soon do you actually hit Butcher? Well, we'll do the Night Watchman. I'll be discarding one estate. So then with this 4, what do you actually do with this 4?
So he does go for Night Watchman, and he probably needs to discard a Butcher here.
appropriate. You might discard peasant and leave like butcher state on top.
Yeah.
It's a fairly unpleasant turn no matter what. Okay. I really don't know what you ever do on 4. I feel like you want a gear, but the terminal situation is really awkward.
So if you hit 4 with a pouch, I think you probably want a second peasant, and eventually you'll want a tracker here.
I don't think you can ever play with tracker here. This is minion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think there is a fairly strong case for minion over butcher in the open. Just because it is non-terminal.
Yeah.
And it can't go faster, and you don't put these Night Watchmen into the deck, and the Night Watchmen are not exactly what you want. I'm going to be right back, so you get to carry these people for
Right.
like a minute.
I'll have to keep these guys entertained. Well, so again, he has to choose between discarding his Traveler and his Butcher, so this Butcher is not doing a lot of good for him in this game so far. I keep my Soldier there, which is what he does. And, well, at least he gets a clean shuffle with his Traveler on the right side of that shuffle. JoMa hits 6 here, which I expect to be... Well, normally I would have expected the Butcher, but if he's watching what Marcus is doing and how little use he's got out of his Butcher, maybe it makes sense to get a minion, which is what he did. So, how many cards does JoMa have left in his discard there? No, sorry, in his draw deck? 2 cards left. I probably toss everything except the... He discarded his Peasant. Oh, right, because he's planning to. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's a friendly minion from JoMa towards Marcus, who gets to play his Fugitive. So I don't know whether you play Gear or Peasant here. I probably play my Peasant. JoMa plays his Gear, setting aside Peasant, one would think, and so Marcus, what did he get there? He got nothing. Yeah. This game is just really not going well for Marcus.
Yeah, peasant games like this one always feel really awkward, just because you can't really do anything until after your teacher.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can technically You can get things going with just disciples, though it's
Yeah,
probably not happening.
yeah, I don't think that's really happening. I think you need action on minion, and then you can maybe have something start happening.
Yeah.
I think that alone is again a pretty strong case for minion over butcher, is that you can't really do anything with your deck until you get to teacher, or the only thing that you can really build as a functional deck until teacher is the minion stack.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess in retrospect you open peasant minion on a 5/2.
Yeah. You know, Marcus plays his disciple here, completely dead.
Yeah. He'll get to his teacher without having anything that's worth putting a token on.
And I guess on the 2 you do get another peasant just because you do want to be. No, you don't get another peasant. So he's well, he'll, I guess, probably butcher the Night Watchman into a minion, or butcher the gear into a minion this turn.
Maybe the Night Watchman can ensure that you hit your teacher next.
Yeah, that'll put the teacher and the minion in the shuffle, which will be nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, just like that. Think somewhat hard about a peasant buy, but decide not to do it.
Oh, but he's gonna get attacked.
No, he's not going to get attacked because of it's big enough hand size that he's going to not end up getting attacked, which is nice.
Hmm. But I think if you're
Yeah.
JoMa and you're watching and you're tracking Marcus's plays, you probably know that he has teacher in hand.
Yeah, but it's so bad for you to make that discard.
Um,
I think you have to get the teacher right away. You don't particularly want it, but you're not really doing anything without it.
hmm.
This could be okay, so he does put the second traveler in. I think about discarding all of these. Yeah. Jim will be up 3 minions to 1 here, which is a really big deal. I think
Yeah.
Marcus needs to butcher the Night Watchman this turn.
Yep.
Just have to make sure that you're getting those minions in deck.
But he's ahead by 2 turns on the teacher plays, right? So.
I don't think it matters how many turns you're ahead on the teacher if you end up losing minions.
Yeah.
Council room there is interesting. This will be action on minion, I would guess. Yeah, this would be butcher the Night Watchman into a minion. Nope, butchers the estate. See what I know. I think it had to be Night Watchman to minion. Just take another minion. He's a little bit fortunate that the teacher didn't get seen there. It'll be another minion for Marcus. Make it 2/2.
So he just keeps this, or
Yeah, he keeps this. 100%, absolutely. Gotta buy that minion. I would guess nothing with it.
yeah, and does he exchange both pests, or it's his only
Yeah,
buy? Well, I mean, he has a butcher that they can use to.
undo for teacher. So I'm guessing is also going to be action on minion, and it'll be interesting to see whether he discards or not. I think I would.
No discard.
No discard. Oh, now they're just going to buy minions.
Mm.
Fine. Night Watchman is now extremely awkward. I think there is a case for just leaving that on top as Marcus. All of those, in case you get a minion.
So Marcus is very lucky to keep this.
Yeah. I think I would have played the council room there as JoMa. You do really want the minion.
So the current split is 3-3, right?
Yeah, it is.
So it seems likely to me that Marcus gets two minions here.
It's a little bit complicated to manage, but I think is it? No, it isn't, because he can just hit 10 with a buy, no problem.
I mean, if he really wants it, he can butcher the soldier.
Well,
But
no, you can just 10. Play these two minions. Play the soldier. Play the butcher.
oh yeah, he can.
Yeah, so that's exactly what he's going to do.
Okay, so things were looking quite bad for Marcus for a while. It seems he's largely caught up now.
This turn will not do wonders for that, having been catching up. I wonder why he kept the soldier there. I think I would want one disciple.
Yeah.
And also that would also be saving this turn if it had been a fugitive, maybe.
Ouch.
Just curiously, which is good if you're Marcus. So you have two minions in that previous hand. Not quite, so I guess that's fine. So he's going to end up with 6 minions. So Marcus, I'm sure, will be very happy about that.
Yep.
Maybe butcher the pouch here.
I think probably butcher a copper to a peasant. Well, you can do that.
Butcher pouch minion, discard with minion. Maybe think about buying council room. I think that's where you want your buy to be coming from, is a council room. Pouch to minion looks really good to me. because it's really you don't want to be having to play treasures, or you don't want to have to be playing certain treasures with the minions as
Yeah, 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 yeah. So he goes for the copper to peasant.
I'm guessing these are just going to both be for coins, or the second one's just not going to get played actually. No, we actually saw the soldiers earlier. Soldiers are not the last two cards. I don't know what they are, but he saw both the soldiers get discarded to JoMa's minion. Yeah. So now Marcus has 6 minions, which will a fairly large advantage. These decks are going to be unstable, unpleasant enough that you're probably not going to see the impact quite as much. Maybe that's not fair. Or maybe you will see the impact more.
Yeah, so there aren't a lot of other good like targets for teacher tokens here.
Here's a curiosity for you. How is Council Room Big Money doing? Or how is Butcher Big Money doing? Or how is Gear Butcher Big Money doing?
I don't have a good answer to that. My intuition is that what they're doing should beat that, but I can't say that with any degree of certainty. It's just kind of a gut feeling. But yeah, if you have 10 minions and you play a soldier on top of
That's
that,
a problem. Also, I think these are well below average runs for these decks.
hmm, coin on gear. I'm not convinced coin is like at all a limiting factor.
Well, I don't know that there's much better to do with it though. It's kind of like there are no good options.
Yeah.
Which I wonder about discarding the minion here. Well, there's no point. I would have wanted to not have that shuffle happen. Yeah, and he will get appropriately punished for letting that shuffle happen.
Hmm.
This,
So you
I'm
get a
guessing, is going to be the council room.
counselor room. Yeah, should be.
Although he does have his teacher down, so he may just be thinking buy on Butcher and get another Butcher here.
Yeah, That also makes sense.
No, actually, I do think I like the butcher plan better. You can't really be thinking about these decks hitting a lot of coins because they're just not going to. Marcus should discard 3 of these. Yep. Or 2 of them, I guess is fine. Yeah, I like tossing one of the minions.
So you toss soldier here because it's worth more later, and the buy
And
is
I
more
think
important.
probably toss one of the minions here because you want to have it in the shuffle that you're about to trigger with the discard. I think there's a good chance that he only plays one of these minions before doing a discard. So play a minion, play the peasant, discard with a minion.
Hmm.
You could also think about putting card on butcher. You really don't think that you're going to be using buys, which I think is a fine assumption.
How does this game end?
Provinces. I mean, there's nothing that you want to pile. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen putting a minion in there, and yeah, he does get immediately punished for it. Maybe isn't really fair, but I'm gonna say it's fair. That not putting a minion in there is what made that turn fail. Well, yeah, it's a failure. Look at his next turn, or the turn after.
Well, JoMa's next turn is not any better. Um,
I don't think he would ever get a counter over a butcher at this point. I could even see a province already.
how about islands? They're green cards and you can disciple them.
Oh, they're green cards and they can remove stuff from your decks, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit twitchy with
Yeah, with a minion deck, it's not going to happen.
essentially 4-card, 3-card hands. I mean, you could have put card on butcher. That might have helped with the see more stuff. Maybe that's completely unreasonable. I don't think it is, though. I mean, you're going to put card on one of these terminals that you're playing. So
I wonder if he considered like just playing the minion as a village and playing both butchers to thin out those coppers for peasants or something. Like on his starting hand there, it could have.
Yeah, something that's a little bit weird about this board is I think having like something of a fugitive stack would actually be really nice.
Yeah.
So maybe move the soldier up into a fugitive as Marcus.
Well, if you'd rather have a disciple than a fugitive, though, now.
I'm not actually sure about that. If we're looking at getting through the deck, a disciple might double a minion play or double a butcher play. A fugitive will make you see 2 more cards.
Mm. Man, how long has this game been going on for?
This game has been going on a while. The first 2 were something like 50 minutes, and then the third was... We're definitely at least half an hour for this game. Which is partially due to just being ugly. I think Fugitive is a better card than Disciple right now, even.
Yeah, you might be right.
They're not just not bad cards. They're very, very, very good cards.
Mm. I wonder if
JoMa,
you
I
should have
guess, is...
played Minion first and then Disciple the Gear.
Well, he might Disciple the Gear and then set aside a minion.
Mm.
Discipling the minion is, I mean, strange. But I guess ends up working out nicely. I don't think that could have been predicted. But yeah, like we look at this hand, would we rather have the soldier be a fugitive or a disciple?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, JoMa is quite thin now. He doesn't need all of the. He doesn't really need the sifting.
Yeah, that's fair. No, there's no way that JoMa is thin though, is there?
I mean, what does he have left? I mean, his discard was
There's got to be a whole lot of coppers around. He's using gears to tuck everything.
right.
So it feels thinner than it probably actually is, especially since next turn only has, what, 1 gear?
Right. So Marcus duds here. I guess he butchers Night Watchman.
Could be into Butcher, could be into Island. Maybe play the soldier and turn it into a fugitive, since we decided that fugitives are so good. Would not be surprised to see a second gear by here. I don't know that I think JoMa may be slightly overestimating his terminal space. Having discipled the minion.
Hmm. So he trashes the estate with a Night Watchman and gets a council room.
Just leave this. Surely. Well, maybe you discard the island, but you have to think that you're getting attacked.
I don't know, like, if you think you're getting attacked, I don't know what implications that has for, like, what you choose to, like, you have 17 cards left to draw anyways. So I'm not sure, like, it... Sorry?
This teacher is a card on minion, or card on butcher rather, which I think is quite good. So JoMa almost has to be discipling one of these minions if he's gonna end up with as much terminal space as he did last turn. Here's the butcher. Also fine. I guess JoMa is not going to be discarding this turn, which means Marcus can be pretty happy about this hand. Or with this hand size, very unlikely to discard without setting aside a lot of stuff, which he has not given himself the ability to do, really.
Yeah. So I'm no longer convinced that this ends on provinces.
I mean, how they're playing it? Probably not.
Yeah.
So yeah, Marcus gets to keep this hand, which is quite nice. No, he does not get to keep this hand. That is ugly. That's really, really ugly.
You mean like the shuffle there, or?
Yeah. He'll get back through most of it, but...
Well, I mean, it will be attacked, so...
Yeah, it'll be attacked, so he might get a turn, but... I think that's, not really good. Yeah, mixes Butcher the Butcher to a province, and that sounds quite correct.
Joe has eight coins, 8 coffers, I guess they're called now. So it could, in principle, butcher copper too.
Yeah. But you can't really use that many butchers anyways, so... Yeah, does go to province. Play gear, set aside peasant, and I guess pouch.
Yeah.
Maybe could have just set aside peasant and taken 2 provinces. That seems very ambitious, though. No lemon spawn, we're the only ones. You have to keep dealing with us. So sorry. Well, it was a failure of the other match, not this one. This one came before it, so.
So he goes for a duchy. Mini decks do not hold green very well, so not
Oh, I
entirely.
remember about that duchy. This is looking maybe okay for Marcus. Yeah. I think you would just set aside the peasant and take double province over province duchy. Plus action on council room deck's even slower to set up than this thing. And this thing isn't exactly being impressive. You know, they didn't have to have that many minions already, but they did. Something interesting that's going to happen here is that Marcus is going to discard with this minion and still not a saved turn. So JoMa essentially saw 3 hands, all of which were bad. Which is kind of impressive. Yeah. It means those last 9 cards are pretty good. I think that shuffle had to be triggered, and there's 2 minions down there, so. Actually, it helped JoMa. This hand is better than the previous one just because of what's below it. Yeah. I wanted to see plus card on Butcher. Marcus is just going to take a bunch of coins here and I guess double province.
Yep, that looks like what he's doing.
2 minions down there. It's a little bit scary. So Marcus probably doesn't get a big turn next turn. JoMa doesn't get a big turn this turn, but should next turn if he plays this turn correctly, which is going to be playing a gear.
Do you disciple the gear, or?
Well, you could set aside the disciple for next turn also.
Yeah.
Might be a better move.
Yeah, discipling the gear puts too much pressure on the gear pile.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, so Marcus duds here.
Yeah, that means two minions in those 11 cards. So this is just going to be setting aside Disciple Council Room, I would guess.
Mm.
And then JoMa has 4 minions in those 7 cards. Which means had Marcus drawn a minion here, he might be very unhappy.
Wait, do you play the island here? Maybe set aside the Night Watchman, or...
Are you just gonna go buy an island? I would guess that JoMa's going to win this upcoming turn. There's going to be nothing guaranteed about it, but JoMa also needs to think. No, he has the council room set aside, so that's fine. He'll probably end up discipling the council room. Although maybe discipling a butcher will be better.
Yeah, discipling the butcher is probably better.
Yeah, it's just a matter of would you rather see cards?
He gets 2 cards from discipling a butcher, though.
Yeah, but if you disciple the council room, you're actually looking at a. Oh, he also has another disciple, so maybe you should just disciple the council room. You're looking at a province finish.
Is it really in hand, like Freaky says?
Yes. You play 2 minions for coins, disciple the butcher, minion and disciple into province, and then buy province. This isn't even. I don't know. This is even a terribly difficult one to find. Yeah. In any case, we should see it going to 3-1 here.
Yeah, it's been. We haven't seen any upsets since the round of 16, have we?
I don't know. I haven't been paying too much attention to the seeds at this point. I mean,
yeah, everyone that's left are obviously great players, and you don't see like the big upsets anymore at this stage in the tournament because everyone has a real chance at this stage.
the fact that he's taking so long means that he probably doesn't see it, or he's being really careful about the coins. You can even think about discipling the butcher now just to see more cards if he can't see it.
Yeah, he's not going to run out of actions, so he can play a single disciple on a butcher without sacrificing too much in terms of.
There's a little bit of a curious undo. Okay. I guess takes this minion for coins. Also a curious undo. Yeah, he really does not see a win here if he's undoing these plays. Or maybe he does. Okay,
So the disciples the disciples, that gains him 1 action, but it loses him the flexibility to play the disciple later.
Sure.
So I
No,
think.
I think he's trying to find this 3 pile here. I think he does not see the provinces. Okay, I guess now he does. It's just a very. I'm not going to say nervous, but yeah, nervous way to end this game. Nope, he does not see the provinces. Wow. Still has this. He's gonna do it with the 3 pile.
Yep, but that still works. So
is not your most direct way. But this is fine.
So that's 3-1 to JoMa. And we move into game 5. JoMa wants a 5-minute break, which I think is very reasonable at this stage. I'm even exhausted myself, and I haven't even been playing.
But what? 2 hours now. So they're taking a 5-minute break. I'm gonna stop talking to you for a little bit. So yeah.
Do I stop the stream or like?
No, keep the stream going. Just leave this for until they return. I'm gonna be right on top of stuff. I'm gonna look at a couple things.
Mm.
back apparently.
Right, so they're starting again, and this
Maybe
looks
our last game. Maybe.
maybe if it's tie or if JoMa wins.
Yeah. Um,
Okay,
I'm not
so
sure. Well, you have this lamp thing going on.
yeah, but there are no villages, so what
There
do
are no
you use
villages.
the wishes for? I mean, I guess you get forums and golds, but what else do
You
you
get
even
gold
want?
forums. You get silver and do a conquest turn if you get really lucky. Oh boy, I got 5 points and 5 silvers. Maybe not the worst thing. I think we might see a lot of conquest bot here. I think Masquerade Silver is a good thing to start off with.
So we're getting live updates from London Spawn about the parallel game.
Yep.
Um, though I guess we should not mention that because some people might be looking to watch don't want spoilers if they want to watch that later.
Yeah.
Um, with the
This
village,
can,
there would have been a very nice pin here on this board. Unfortunately, you can't really make that happen without some more supportive villages.
yeah, even with villages, it would be pretty tough. But
Yeah.
I think Masquerade Silver is a start. You want to pick up some forum
Yeah.
scheme, maybe one or two.
Probably want one scheme to help activate, and probably just one scheme.
At some point, you can maybe start doing some forum peddler turns, but I think just at that point, buying province gold or conquest is going to be better. Uh, there's 2 masquerades. I am never really a big fan of 2 masquerades, but apparently it's going to work out okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'd get 2 masquerades here.
This 4 for Marcus is, I guess, going to be a secret cave if he's trying to, or maybe, nah, it'll probably just be a silver if he's trying to move towards lamp. I think this is a forum without question for JoMa.
So Chad is wondering if we're talking about the mascot per spin, which I did mention, but I did also say that it was sad that they
Yeah,
didn't have actions.
Anderson got the mask cut per spin.
So this should be a forum, right?
Yeah, I don't know what else it would be. The other thing about double mask here is that it doesn't really move you towards activating lamp.
Yeah.
Although, as JoMa, you would be somewhat unhappy if you didn't have a masquerade in your next hand. It ends up being a. Huh. Yeah, so that's a silver from Marcus.
I guess the thing, like, what you can do with that mask is advance it if you draw it that.
Yeah, it's true. Quite fair, even. Marcus will, I'm sure, take a forum here after trashing this estate. You could pirate ship your opponent's lamp, and they would not care a whole lot. Well, they would care a whole lot, but I
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
think it would be.
I'm not convinced that these guys like will ever activate the lamp. So Oh, they probably will.
I don't know that lamp is terribly, or not that big a deal. Hey, it could also be silvers for your 5 silver conquest turn. Marcus has a fairly decent shot at activating next turn, I think. Not anymore. Maybe still. Yeah, I think Marcus might be activating this upcoming turn. We'll see. JoMa on this floor. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what it's going to be. So there you go with the first advance into a peddler, which is kind of curious. Most would think forum, but so yeah, Marcus does get his lamp activated this turn as we had sort of predicted.
Yeah, this looks very nice for Marcus.
This will be forum peddler. Yeah, this is just double masked. Even when it feels nice, it doesn't really work.
So this should be an activation for JoMa.
Yep, for sure.
I think a lot of those wishes should probably be golds.
Yeah, I think so too. I would be. It could be forums, but
I mean, if you take the gold, that's 3/5 of a way towards the forum, since you don't need to buy for
yeah,
them.
it's just not a huge advantage. Like, do you make yourself go through your deck to find your golds, or do you just have them? And we'll say just having them is better.
So here he gets to 11, so that might be a forum and a gold, or do you start
They're just going
winning?
to be a province.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they need treasure.
So that's activation.
Yep. I think, well, JoMa's going to pass this estate. I think as Marcus, you probably do want to think about keeping it.
Yeah, it does give nice flexibility to either be a duchy or a gold if you need it.
No, there's not a whole lot of game left here. I would be I'd be somewhat surprised if this lasted more than maybe 6 more turns. Actually, I'd be very surprised if it lasted more than 6 more turns. I'd be somewhat surprised if it lasted more than 5 more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Marcus should province in his next, like, in like what, 3 of his next 4 turns at least. So
we'll see if we get the estate passed here. Nope, is keeping the estate now. I don't know about trashing that copper. This will be a province, I would guess.
yeah, it has to be.
Be buying provinces. Yeah, I think if you don't take province here, you're setting yourself up for losing.
He doesn't take province though. He takes a forum and what are
I
we
guess
gonna see?
forum maybe.
Yeah, if he's not gonna take province at 8, he's gonna need buys, and then
Yeah.
maybe with the extra buy, maybe he can move towards like hitting 12 and 2 conquests.
Yeah, but I don't know what more parts means here. You have 3 wishes to gain more parts, but what is that other than just like gold? Duchy maybe? It's not really a part. You can take forums, but So yeah, we do see the farmer's market. Marcus might keep the wish here.
Yeah, I should probably keep the wish, and you know,
Yeah,
he might even do it as a surprise, stealing the farmer's market points or something like that.
you could buy 2 forums and then advance the wish. Yeah, don't do that. Better yet, you could take 2 forums and advance the wish to a peddler. Has the wish in hand, so now he's going to make the decision whether to use it. The answer is going to be yes, use it. We'll just form province. That is fine. If you wanted a forum, well, no, you can get a gold and a forum this way. Yeah, extra gold is good. I don't know that I'd go so far to say that gold is a good card, but it's something that you want more of in this deck. Yeah, I agree. Not sold on playing Wish. Although with JoMa not taking a province last turn, maybe you're looking at not needing a duchy. Not passing a state, yep. So that makes this just a province buy for certain. Otherwise, why are you getting that gold? Yeah. This will be a nice masquerade for Marcus.
Yeah, I guess you passed the scheme.
Yeah, I think for sure you passed the scheme. It's also fairly nice for Marcus to be seeing a copper in each of these hands. So passing the scheme or even passing the mask back wouldn't be the end of the world.
I guess you play farmer's market here if you...
I mean, you bought it, so
Yeah.
you buy it for a reason. You're surely going to be playing it.
Got a conquest there. And the silver first.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to end up working out too well.
Yeah, it's just too far behind in points to be able to catch up with like 3-point conquests.
Yeah. I mean, it makes your deck better, but how is Marcus going to miss? Or how is Marcus going to miss that many times?
Yeah. Yeah, this many goals and this many forums, Marcus is going to get provinces on the next 3 turns, almost certainly.
Yeah. So you need to hope for Marcus to miss once and take advantage of that rather than hope that he's going to miss 3 times.
I guess you take Duchy here, or...
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he's going to do gold and then I guess maybe double conquest. Yep. I wouldn't go that far yet, that the correct wish is for resign. But he did not play this one in the way that would allow him to win it. Marcus is just going to do another foreign province pair.
Yeah, this is over. I think it is resignable. And I think it would have been resigned if it wasn't a championship game.
Yeah, this is kind of reminding me of my game against RTT from the other day with Mint and Gear, where you just get one province ahead on a really consistent deck and it's over.
Yeah, this is certainly... There's no way he doesn't hit 8 here.
So we will get a 6th game.
What happened there? Was there an undo?
Wanted to buy a conquest, and yeah, so he undid, and it was like, ditch the mask here. Doesn't really matter. Okay. There you are. All right, with JoMa still needing a win or a tie.
Yeah. But Mark is starting game 6.
So yeah, I guess I said 5 turns, and in fact it was 7 turns. It was 7 province buys from Marcus. Whoa.
So,
Exactly. It was only 7 turns because JoMa was going wide as opposed to playing, I guess, maybe what needed to be played. Anyways, we
So
have a
this is a
good
very
fight.
nice 5-2 opening. Yeah, you get Witch here for sure.
When you think about Engineer, I'm not really sure what you would. I don't think you want to do that on the off chance that maybe you're going to hit Alter with the Witch. It's also, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter as first player. I was going to say it's also somewhat nice to see the 5 in the first turn against Smugglers, but as I say, it doesn't matter as first player.
I wonder, like with Procession on the board, I wonder if it's worth doing the Mandarin trick here so that you can eventually process it to an Altar. And then do Mandarin Witch.
You'd rather just process a Witch or a Courtier or a Lab.
Yeah.
It's just not a great card to have in deck. The thing to say about the Mandarin trick is it might help you hit 6 early.
Yeah.
So there may have actually been a case for Mandarin Witch, but again, I think the pacing getting the Witch going maybe turn 3 is just better.
Yeah, I'll buy that. But you don't see that anymore. It used to be what everyone did on Mandarin boards. Now I haven't seen that being done in like at least since before Shuffle was took over.
I don't know about everybody having done it, but yeah. The Smugglers from JoMa is a lot scary just because you can't really be expecting Marcus to be hitting 5, and you need to hit 5. I think that just had to be a double silver. Well, he'll hit 5 anyways. And he will smuggle off Marcus's. Oh. Draws the Witch again. Which is, yeah, quite good. Yeah, I would actually think that we might see Mandarin come into play here because it can top deck City Quarters. That seems like something that you probably want to do.
So here do you get Procession or do you get Engineer?
I'd just get another silver.
Hmm.
If your goal is hitting 6. Because what next turn is going to be another 5, which is I guess a Lab. I think just take the Smugglers. I don't love that since you don't really think that JoMa is going to be going around hitting big numbers. But I guess the one advantage of the Smugglers is that you know that JoMa probably did have a Smugglers in hand, and the second one isn't great. I think I might have taken a Lab over that second Witch. Well, no, I would have taken a Lab over that second Witch. I don't think the second Witch is what you really want. Nope, nobody wants to buy an Altar this game, Jaunts. Why are they not playing like they want Altar? I have no idea. Lab.
Not City Quarter?
Come on, buy Lab. I don't think you have enough actions for City Quarter yet. It's too early for City Quarter. I like the Lab. I like the Lab on his last 5, even though it wouldn't have done any good. Well, it might have done some good. We don't know which order those were in. There's going to be more Lab. And if he smuggles them, oh well. So JoMa has a decision here whether he wants a Lab or wants to give a curse. I think the answer is that you have to give the curse.
So here you oh sorry, never mind. I thought
The City Quarter there for Marcus looks good. now. I don't know what JoMa does. So JoMa's going to process this lab, get an altar. That was quite fortunate. I wouldn't say lucky, but fortunate.
Maybe an engineer here?
I don't know. What are you actually gaining with the engineer? More procession?
Yeah, and then
I don't know if you really need that. So Marcus can smuggle an altar here. That's probably better than playing the witch.
yeah, I do that.
Yeah, you think so too. Marcus gets to process a witch right here. I believe. So this ends up being a very good turn.
Mm.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be buying city quarters every turn as long as they can. I wouldn't guarantee game 7 yet. I would not be
Yes. So
game 7 yet.
JoMa processes the witch here, I would think. He might play a smugglers first to get that altar into the shuffle.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be gaining an altar off the witch. I don't know. What else did Marcus gain? Just the altar? So yeah, I guess you may as well smuggler an altar first. Just as you said. That's odd. There's also probably a pretty decent case for not processing the witch there in order to not trigger that shuffle.
Mm.
So Marcus is getting through pretty nicely here. Probably procession altar.
Yeah, I think I get rid of both those curses for labs, and
You can smuggle an altar and then proc the altar, and that looks better than gaining 2 altars. Yeah.
that's unfortunate draw.
It's exactly the draw that was expected, though.
Yeah. So this has to be a city quarter, I think. Although maybe you want an engineer.
I think just a city quarter, though. Engineer gaining 2 processions for a little bit of extra pile control might be an interesting move also. Surely you do one of the two, though. Yes, Reading pointed out that Arch makes procession pileouts interesting because it means that points are flipping up and down. Marcus could at least start by paying off that 2 debt.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if he's disconnected.
So what did he do there? He got nothing.
Nothing. I don't know. I think that you're not really producing coins at all, so...
Wow, now the piles are really, really low.
End here. We really could see an end here.
You process the lab?
What else are you going to do? Are you really going to worry about those piles? I guess, since it's a championship game. Instead, he'll probably proc the altar now. Or he'll just play altar and go gain a duchy out of this curse. Or we'll see 2 duchy gains. Lab gain, duchy gain, maybe.
Yeah, you'd want a duchy here.
I don't know if you need the duchy, but what else are you gaining? Courtier, Mandarin, Witch, Procession, maybe. You could do Procession.
So how many processions do each of them have?
I think JoMa has 2 and Marcus has just the 1.
So it's at least theoretically possible for JoMa to pile the altars.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what that does to arch points or.
So Marcus may want to think about another procession here.
Right, that's a good point. That since the he didn't process the lab, so
yeah, which maybe good move. So it's going to be the courtier. I think that's fine. Or I think that either needs to be courtier or procession, and that was either courtier or procession. So JoMa gets his 3rd procession.
So what do you expect for the action density of the deck now? Like, do you play stuff before or after City Quarter? It doesn't matter. Marcus has this, I think. Yeah.
Does he? Like, how does he actually move up to piling? Apparently by not seeing the procession. He hasn't shuffled here, and well, he's not going to shuffle here, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So he's going to alter something into a something.
Oh, he did actually
Shuffle. Surprise. So in that case, are you trying to end this? Can he end this? I don't think so. Yeah, he could have ended it had he processed the laboratory. Yeah, if he processed the lab, he won, and I think drawing the courtier was likely enough that it was a correct move.
Oh, he still has a win in hand. You processed the courtier and you hit 12.
Yeah, but only 1 buy. Yeah, 1 buy.
Oh.
The other thing to look at might be the procession pile. Yeah, I don't think so. So he processed the lab, he would have won. I think there was a decent case for doing so. Arch points right now are indeed lab city quarter. So one more city quarter would be 3 points. Well, he might not have drawn the courtier if he processed lab. As unlikely as that is. Yeah, you don't necessarily have the courtier. But he certainly can't gain alter at this point. It's just going to be a duchy. Nope, it's a witch. Huh. Well, we'll see what JoMa does. Apparently not much.
Yeah, 4 curses in your deck is rough too.
Yeah.
So Marcus should certainly process the lab this time, yeah? Or is that too risky?
I don't think that's too risky now.
Yeah.
How is JoMa actually going to score that much? His arch isn't really there.
Well, I mean, it might... If he processes it, does he lose any...
No. Marcus has lots of lab. All right. All right. Now it is in hand.
Yeah.
I believe. Is it? No, it isn't in hand yet. What are these people talking about? Can't trust chat anywhere, anytime.
Well, he certainly gets there, though, with playing City Quarter now. There will be a procession, and now it is in hand.
Yep, for sure.
I think it's called a hand in the actual rules of Dominion, so by definition it is a hand. Or is there a term for hand in the actual rules?
I think it's hand, but these people are just being foolish.
Okay, so last game, random starts.
And if it's a tie, the second player advances.
So JoMa starts.
Marcus. This is a donate board. It has highway. It has plus buy.
It doesn't have draw though.
Does not have draw.
And the plus buy is like it's a non sorry, it's a stop card basically.
Um, 5-2 is I don't know if it's great. No, there's armory, so you can highway and then you can armory more highways.
Yeah.
You can build up at least a, I wouldn't say consistent, but reasonable double province fairly quickly. In that case, I would guess that the 5 is going to be highway. There's a little bit of question of how you actually end up paying off debt.
Yeah.
So I think the 5 is going to be highway.
So I guess the only way to activate quest here would be to purchase 2 curses, right?
Well, if you take the Guardian, you're going to trash it right away afterwards. Donate turn 3 or turn 4.
Smugglers is not an attack, so that doesn't work.
Well, the reason you would take a Guardian is to it essentially just acts as an extra coin because you assume that you're hitting you assume that you're donating before the next shuffle.
You know, I think maybe on a 5-2, maybe you open donate and keep like 5 cards, and then you donate again later.
Yeah, but you may as well just buy the 5. Yes, we are quite sure that the highway thing outpaces haggler money. I don't think that's really I don't think that's a question. I think the 5 should be highway, though.
Oh, this 5-2 is actually quite awesome because it's got pouch in it, so you can like
Take an extra copper. Yeah, I want to get 1 highway, 1 armory, and then donate. I agree with that. Festival's not good. It does not help you get the things that you want to get. Does festival donate? Huh. I would really want to see trashing out all the coppers. An undo that gets old. Like some of the.
I don't think that's an unreasonable undo at all, Freaky. I mean, it's absolutely no information, and
Well, it is because you don't know if you're going to see the festival or not.
yeah. But he saw the festival, which is what he wants. So
Yeah. Either way, yeah. So this would pay off 6 debt next turn, and then you would hit 4 the turn after, which is maybe an armory. This does get you to highway armory, but you're not really thin. As Marcus, you think about smugglers.
yeah, I guess smugglers is reasonable.
I'm not sure what the build up outside of that is. If you go like smugglers, silver, and or somehow hit 5, you're pretty happy. Like at Marcus at this point, you can figure out what JoMa's next couple turns are going to be. And figure out whether you want that smugglers now or not. Marcus, you could also take Guardian here and hit 5 next turn. That's something that you really want to do.
That would put him
You want to
like 2 full turns behind JoMa, right? So
would it really? Because he'd be buying the highway off of that. He would not be buying the festival.
yeah.
So he takes a Guardian now and then highway, and then maybe hopefully you hit Armory turn 3. Even though that's not entirely likely with the Guardian.
Oh, sorry. My headphone was scratching like the pillow hairs, so I was making some noises.
So I'm sort of liking the Guardian, though I could see silver. Well, JoMa's next couple turns are play this festival, pay off 6 debt, then buy Armory, and then hopefully buy highway. I just don't know what the Armory does for you in that one turn. Maybe it gains you a smugglers. Yeah, silver Armory is also quite appropriate.
It's a rough opening shuffle for Marcus relative to what JoMa got.
I don't know what pouch in 4 does you more than pouch in 3. You want a highway before you donate. If you're not looking at getting highway Armory in play, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, festival is much better than CSM here. Well, because you can gain and play off Armory, and just because it gives you more money. So this will be the Armory from Marcus, we would guess. Oh, it's going to be a second silver. Marcus is going to end up being very happy with that if the draws work out. Because this might be highway and then Armory donate. So this is going to actually end up working out really well if he sees his pouch next turn. Then on the other hand, he could see 2 and be quite sad about it, in which case he would buy a Guardian and wait to donate a turn.
I don't think you want a haggler here because you want 1 armory, and then what else do you want that costs less than a highway? I guess.
So this can be Armory, and then really hope that you draw your Festival for JoMa. I'm not sure what else you would be doing. Well, there's not a lot of buys lying around just because you can't draw. So this is going to be the Armory. Does draw the Festival, so we'll be getting to Highway this turn. So yeah, Marcus, I'm guessing, is just going to buy Armory and then donate this turn, so he ends up being fairly happy with the double silver. Whereas had this been an Armory, maybe not so much. Well, he would gain a Smugglers and then donate, so he would end up still being happier with the he would still end up being happier with the Armory, probably. I really don't know about the another Armory. You are really short on draw.
Yeah, one is enough.
So this is probably going to be... what did Marcus gain last turn? Marcus gained a Festival last turn. He actually did not gain an Armory, which is really interesting, or not gain a Highway, which is really interesting to me. I kept thinking Marcus was going to be buying that Highway, but no, he matched the Festival.
So what do you do here? You keep... Well, he has two silvers, so he keeps both of them.
And keep your 2 silvers, a Festival, and a Smugglers.
Do you keep the pouch? No.
No. You might think about ditching a silver. You want to think about your next couple turns. If you keep the silver, you're paying off 6 debt, and then you have 6. So yeah, that's fine. I'm guessing that JoMa just takes a Highway here. The absolute worst take here is a Rebuild. Maybe a Duchy. But now, in terms of getting smuggled, Marcus is in sort of a better position to use an Outpost, although not really. They're both in really bad position to use an Outpost just because no draw.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I think donating rather than Highway donate is it just slows the game down a turn, really. So yeah, we get the so we get to be slowed down by a turn, sort of. I don't know about keeping that pouch. That pouch is really just going to get in the way. So Marcus will be able to just pay off debt here. Smugglers doesn't do anything this turn. It will do something next turn. So depending on what JoMa is going to be gaining, which I'm guessing is highway, Marcus will end up getting 2 of them, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I think Marcus is back in the lead here after some very rough opening shuffles.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Marcus is in the lead, but
oh yeah, Outpost.
he takes Outpost, which is, I mean, it's fine, probably.
So
I don't know. Their Outpost turns when they draw Armory, Festival, and Pouch are going to be lovely. And you just know they're going to do that.
Well, at least it protects from Smuggler.
Doesn't really, though, because you're going to be buying the things that you want anyways.
Well, then it helps you buy the good stuff. If it...
All right, JoMa gets a good Outpost here. Or something approximating good Outpost. Highways. Or you can take nothing, and then they can't smuggle. Can they? Yeah. So if you gain nothing here, Marcus can't smuggle. It would be kind of stupid, but amusing. So there is a chance that Marcus takes these last 4 highways in this set of 2 turns. I'm sure he would very much like to do that.
So JoMa now has.
It's gonna be 5-5.
When he gets there.
Yeah. And now we find out whether Smugglers or Armory is better. Or we find out if 2 silvers or Pouch Candlestick Maker is better.
I mean, Smuggler now gets you provinces, and it doesn't have to get top decked.
This last card is an Outpost, so what you could think about here is you could actually think about gaining province off Armory, buying province, and then not buying anything during the Outpost turn to cut out the Smugglers gaining province.
Yeah.
And that's how you take advantage of the fact that you have an Armory rather than a Smugglers. Just leave your Outpost turns to be trash because they're probably going to be bad anyways. You're really unlikely to actually gain a province on a Outpost turn, even if you don't put a province on top, so.
Though, if you're gonna count on like double provincing, one from Armory and one from your pouch, and Marcus is gonna double province just from his silvers and festival, right?
Well, no, because if you don't take a province during your Outpost turn, Marcus can't smuggle.
Yeah, but he doesn't need Smuggler to double province. He gets the provinces down to 6, and if he draws both silvers and festival, he still double provinces.
Yeah, suppose. I think that's really difficult for Marcus to do, though.
Oh, is it really? No, it's not really difficult. Well, he gets to do it during his primary turn, but not his outpost turn. Unless he gets lucky. DG makes an interesting point about rebuild. That's something to maybe look out for next turn for JoMa. He's top decking a rebuild for the outpost turn to mill.
Mm.
You can just take nothing here. Marcus is in a little bit of a tight spot. So even if then Marcus double provinces, then JoMa could double province, then mill one on the outpost turn. Guardians are probably fine. Yeah, they're fine. You don't really need to triple province, but if you take like a double and then a rebuild, or even just a triple. I don't think triple's terribly likely, but
So this horrible outpost turn is probably good news for Marcus because now he gets to play every highway next turn almost certainly.
yeah, it's quite good. He probably should take a guardian here. Yeah, or two guardians even. Yeah. Takes an estate, which I do think is important.
Well, remember that Marcus survives with tie though.
So this is actually only a double for JoMa.
And no outpost turn.
Marcus surviving with the tie is quite relevant. Amusingly. Yeah, this is a triple though. So there is a way that Marcus could or that JoMa could have not drawn properly there, but so Marcus has to play for JoMa having a large number of very bad hands. The duchy pile is still quite present.
You probably have to keep on drawing here to get to the outpost.
Yeah. I mean, what's down there? Like silver outpost provinces. This just needs to be two duchies.
Yeah, this is over.
Well, if you just take a guardian, or you just take nothing. Because you don't want to be thinking about buying a duchy next turn. Probably you could, but Marcus's hand is not gonna make that a bad move. Yeah, never take a duchy. Be agonizing for Marcus, just knowing that you really don't have a chance, but
Yeah. It's going to be quite hard for both of them to hit province again.
for sure. Because if you're looking at outs as Marcus here, well, you don't really have any, but maybe you take an armory. I just think armory estate, maybe. Silver. Smugglers. I don't know what the extra smugglers is gonna do really other than discourage something that you've already discouraged. Top deck rebuild here.
Yeah, that seems right, but it also seems like it's not an idea I would expect people to come up with. I think like DG planted that idea in all of our heads, and it's obvious when someone has pointed it out. It's not something I think at least I wouldn't think of. Yeah, I guess it's silver.
Yeah, that's a good point. He could have gained a gold rather than a silver.
That's a win. That's in hand.
Oh, so yes, you did click silver last turn.
So congratulations to JoMa, who makes it to the semifinal, where he will. Who's he playing in the semifinals?
I think the winner of the other one.
Right.
Or
So that's Burning Skull and and J
J
Fresh. Yeah.
So I guess we will go see what's happening in that one. And
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. And that's the end of this stream.
signing off. So see y'all.